Hello everybody, Tall Paul here with Left-Handed Knife Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the Benchmade Bugout, model number 535. Let's get right into it. First up with our facts and figures, this is going to be a 3.24 inch blade in S30V steel running on a set of washers. These scales are made out of a polymer and are affixed to a couple of stainless steel liners, and the handle measures in at 4.22 inches. At the time of this review, this knife sells for $131.75 on Blade HQ. Next up, I'm going to put a couple items on the table for size comparison, as the actual dimensions of the knife will appear on the screen. First up, we have our unsharpened Dixon Ticonderoga pencil. Follow that up with the Ontario Rat Model 2. We'll go with another fantastic EDC knife, the Spyderco Paramilitary 3 lightweight. Follow that up with the Civivi Pintail. And last up, we will do the Hogue Doug Ritter Mark 1 G2. Next up, we will talk about Larry and my experience while using the knife. The Bugout is a very nice knife to use. The scales have a good texture to them, which gave us a secure grip. The size of the handle also gave us a good amount of room to hold the knife a couple ways comfortably. Due to the overall thickness of the knife, the chef's knife hold was definitely one of the holds that we definitely preferred while using this knife. This knife has a good consistent lockup and deploys incredibly well. The axis lock also makes manipulating the knife very easily and gives it quite the fidget factor. Overall, this knife was pleasant to carry for review. Let's take a look at what the Bugout succeeds at. This is a knife made for EDC. It is incredibly light, coming in at 1.85 ounces, and compact. At its widest point, it comes in at 1.15 inches total, so it does not take up a lot of pocket space or add a lot of weight to your carry. This knife disappears in your pocket with a really good deep carry pocket clip. But on top of that, this is also a great blade. The blade is made out of S30V, a very nice blade steel that both Larry and myself really enjoyed. Blade is also incredibly slicey, coming in at 9/100ths of an inch thick. The blade slices through EDC tasks with great ease. Alright, let's talk about what the Bugout struggled with. There's a school of thought or perception that comes with a knife that's this light. It's kind of like when you have an electronics device and it has no batteries in it and it's light. You think this is a cheap piece of crap. Then you put a couple of D batteries in it and it's substantial and it has weight, it has value. This knife is so light that that's a hard thing to overcome. But once you get past that, you realize that this is a great knife. It isn't cheap, it's made this way on purpose. This knife also really isn't made for hard use. Once you start to really grip down on the knife and kind of bear down, if you squeeze too hard, you will notice just how sharp these scales are, and they will start digging into your hand, making the knife fairly uncomfortable to use for hard use. Next up, we have our points of note. Points of note are neutral things we want to mention, but fall between that gray area between successes and struggles. Pocket clip is a nice deep carry pocket clip. There is a lanyard hole present, and it is fairly sizable. And, style-wise, there are some very nice touches. The blue anodized spacers are very nice, and the overall aesthetic of the knife is fairly good. Now for everything that's left. The part of the knife review, we talk about everything left-handed. First up, we have a reversible pocket clip on this knife. You are going to be able to select either left or right-handed tip-up only carry. Our deploy is going to be the exact same for a left-handed individual as a right-handed individual. The cutout for the thumb stud is identical on both sides, and it is a fairly easy knife to deploy with that thumb stud. It sticks up just about as high as the scale. Scale contours down just a little bit. Plenty of room for you to get your finger up and behind to pop it open. This is the first axis lock we have reviewed on the channel, and this is an ambidextrous lock. It is, for those who don't know, 2 studs that you're going to pull down on to release the mechanism on the knife, and then it just drops shut. When we originally got this knife, there was a little bit of breaking in that did need to happen before the action on it became as good as it is now. But this is a very ambidextrous knife. The experience on this knife is going to be the same for a left-handed individual as a right-handed individual. Next up, let's talk about our final thoughts and recap. We recommend this knife for anyone looking for a great EDC knife. It has a solid blade. This knife carries extremely well. There's a reason that this knife has become a real staple in the EDC community. For 95% of what most people are going to use an EDC knife for, this works great. If you deal with harder tasks on a regular basis, this might not be the EDC knife for you. At the end of the day, this knife operates really well for both left and right-handed individuals and hits really hard in its price class. If you're looking for a knife around this price, this is a fantastic choice. Thank you very much for joining me today. Be sure to subscribe for more great knife content. We'll see you next time.